I'm Gaz, and this is Let's Quickly Play While True Learn. This game was given to me as a review copy, I believe, and it's basically one of those programming puzzle games. Sort of a programming simulator, I suppose. Let's begin. We'll just start with the tutorial, and of course we will call ourselves Gaz. To become a programmer, you must master your art of turning the computer on. Okay, so this is basically a mechanic whereby you drag, in this instance, actual computer parts, but in the actual game it's going to be blocks of code to make things run. So the story is that we're this guy who's struggling with programming, and his cat's amazing at it, and so he wants to learn how to talk to the cat, and so he goes towards Googling it on Cat Overflow. This is kind of an annoying mechanic. You can actually type this in or just hold down a key. It types it for you, whatever it says. Hey everyone, can you believe my cat? That little devil has debugged my code again. Give me advice on how to make this this talking program so I can talk to my cat. Okay, so there's this thing called expert system, and we can use it to kind of filter through data from our input to other nodes that we wish to go to. So in this case, we see that we need to get red in this block, blue in this block, and if you're colorblind, that's okay because there is colorblind mode for this game, which gets a thumbs up for me. I'm not actually colorblind, but accessibility is something that I've complained about in previous games, or at least remarked upon, criticized upon in previous indie games and games in general. Just really, that's not something anyone pays attention to, so kudos for that. And then you see how much accuracy, what level of accuracy you need to have to complete the level, as well as, I guess, the bytes. You need to have 8 red in here, 8 blue in here to make this work. So we are going to do a test run on this little program which separates our reds and everything else into that. We can speed up. And there we go. Success. Okay, so we're using the expert system, and it doesn't make any sense to us. But this is apparently called visual programming. Yay! Okay, so here we go. We now have a task tree. So let's find this one. We're taking jobs, basically, to kind of get familiar with the program. Good day, we're from a public school. Summer exams have passed, and we need to filter the results so we know who's smart and who's dumb. Okay, so basically everything I had just said, here we go. So I'll take this, and we're actually going to be filtering out green to here, and everything else, in this case blue, to here. And there we go. Task complete. Now we actually have to release it, though. And there we go. Awesome. Okay. Get a little bit of money for that, and on we go. So we're moving towards getting my computer to recognize cat speech, which is very low, and first starting with recognizing the ability to know that it's a cat based on my camera, because one of the complaints our character makes is that the expert system is only text-based. Do we need to filter some questionnaires? Okay, medals just give us financial bonuses, which right now I don't know that there's any difference in there. So we have the new trash can node. So we're gonna have to basically filter this twice. Green here. And we can actually double up on the node. We'll just go ahead and release this, because it's probably going to work. I suppose these are data packets. Okay, silver result. So clearly I didn't do enough there, or make it efficient enough to get to gold, but I really don't care about that. Error in the database. Okay, please update our program. Non-neural artificial intelligence. A program called Eliza, 1966, was the very first chatbot in the world. So basically it's just telling us that to kind of show us that this is basically the beginnings of machine learning. We are apparently using the same processes that were used in real life. So this mission is not actually going to let me rebuild the thing. I actually now have to go into custom nodes and take something that I completed in a previous task and basically reuse it. Mostly for speed purposes, I guess. Okay, so all we need is red here and a trash can, and away we go. Success. Okay, so now we're given into decision trees. The funny thing is that once we branch off like this, it's not necessary to progress the story per se to get these. Right now we'll just take on this. Okay, so now we need to be able to detect the cat without expert systems, because it works for texts and not for pictures. Okay, then there's this program called SIFT, which I don't believe we're going to be able to actually use in this mission. But okay, this is using exclusion, but I think it comes in one of the next missions. So basically what we need to do here, all we need to worry about is definitely separating red and blue. If it's not in here, it's going to separate it randomly, so it will split the greens between the two. And you see it is filling up very fast and very efficiently. Okay, so now we can branch off there, or we can keep going up. Let's go ahead and try optimizing the code. Change our database, update the code one last time. So, once again, we have to use this. I suppose it's that. Now if we look at the time here, is that really faster? Not really. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I don't need this one. I need red else divide. Or does it actually go faster? Hold on, hold on. But it wouldn't, though, because it's using red and blue. And it might send greens here because we're not using any greens. So we'd have to use this. So we're basically reusing... What? That doesn't seem right. It will tell me if I test it whether or not I did a good job. Usually there'll be a warning if it's telling me I've created something that I can't create, or they will not fulfill the... I mean, this is not optimized at all. Ran out of time. Okay, well this is an optional mission anyway, so we're just not going to even worry about it right now. We're going to go straight on to the Illuminati origins. We're separating shapes now. And this is going to be utilizing the SIFT block. Alright. We can just go ahead and release that. There we go. And we just keep going. I suppose we can try branching off, see what that gets me. Let's try this one. On a small technology farm, we're improving processes for the latest technology. Shops we're working with need supplies of eggs of different kinds. Okay. So, I can't imagine this is going to be terribly efficient. although it's basically just going to be something we've already set up. So squares go there, circles go there, and then that will branch out triangles, right? It is not, however, terribly... Oh, maybe it is. It's already almost there. We just need... Yep. No, that's okay. So we got that. This is going to combine whatever this is. Let's find out. High sorting accuracy is very important. We need a very efficient system here. Oh, wait. What is this? Dang it. Inbox. Startups. Good day. We're inviting you to join our hacker startup. We write cheats and guides for different games, but we'd like you to create something very cool. We need a program that will play and win in Arkanoid instead of the player. I'm not really sure how that works. Yeah, let's join it. Sure. Why are we doing this? The scheme created while working for a startup does not differ from any other scheme, but it can work better or worse. Your profit depends on the quality of the scheme. In startups, when you press release, your scheme starts to work automatically. Don't worry, you can get back to the scheme and change it at any time. If your scheme contains self-learning nodes, you can disable learning in test mode. Did we not already do this? But we can only use the one. Okay. So, I don't think this is going to work out either. The money histogram shows the dynamics of your weekly income. Okay. Red column states users brought you less money than you spent on servers that day. Too high of an overload. If the parameter is too high, try optimizing. Okay. Here you can see the amount of money the company has. If it runs out of money, the company will cease to exist. You can leave the startup and sell your shares anytime, and you can see how much it's worth in this table. Launching a successful startup or completing a task requires 1 day. At the end of the week, every startup provides you with your share of income. So, we currently have a medium amount of users. Okay. We're a cargo transport company, and we're now working passionately on improving the code. Okay, this is one that I don't think I do very efficiently. What are those nodes? I don't know. So what are we looking at here? If it goes into... I don't think I can do multiple branch offs. I cannot. So basically, I need to separate randomness. I would have to, right? Because this will block out red. This will take blue. So it'll send green to both. And then basically the same thing, right? Only this one goes red here, and that one goes blue there. And then they'll send, oh yes, of course. I mean, do we even want to pass this in? Does this really even matter? Wait a minute. Is it this one that allows me to do any? This doesn't feel very efficient at all, in fact, but let's go ahead and release it. No, it's not efficient at all. I don't really care. I did a thing. Let's move on to this one. Coding's hard, okay? So if you want to understand the cat's speech properly, you better earn yourself some gold medals. I don't really care for that. So, okay, this is a little bit different. I played through this just briefly, just to try it out, and this is the gold rather than the silver medal story. Maybe not. So we're now detecting via the camera. I've managed to make my computer detect the cat. Now I need to have it recognize emotions. Ever heard of perceptrons? They're invented in the 60s. First Perceptron is invented by Frank Rosenblatt in 1957. It can recognize English letters by their shapes. This icon displays the chance of incorrect data recognition, which node makes during processing. English is, it needs a little bit of proofreading in this game. In the test run, Perceptron reduces the amount of errors while trying to predict the shape of elements. In deploy run, Perceptron only predicts shapes. Rosenblatt's Perceptron used in Mark 1. This Perceptron could recognize only simple dependencies, was enough to recognize English letters. Okay. So it says we have a 75% chance of picking the wrong damn thing, and we have no access to anything else. So does that indicate that I have to probably filter this? I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, so eventually it's going to work out, though, right? We only need 40% accuracy on this, so let's try it. Okay, it got there. It got there in time, too. That's interesting. Let's do a real reinforcement learning. In this task, you'll encounter reinforcement learning. Here you have to teach the car to correctly behave on the road. At first look, the task seems strange, but it's worth it to wrap one's head around. This game mode is now in open... okay, right. We won't be playing that because I did, in fact, come across an error. The game actually did... crash. Or freeze up, anyway. Inbox. Let's go look for more stuff. Optimization of code. We don't want to need to do that. So where... Here we go. Job? No. Private. Letter from Mom and Dad. We remember how you cherish your financial independence. Okay. Well, that's a bit of money. That's nice. History of expert systems. 1965 can be considered a peculiar starting point for the work on the creation of expert systems. In that year, scientists from the Stanford Research Institute, Edward Feigenbaum and Bruce Buchanan... Oh, sorry. These are not... In that year, scientists from the Stanford Research Institute, Edward and Bruce, teamed up with Nobel laureate Joshua and began to create a computer system designed to determine the molecular... I thought they were talking about, like, multiple institutes here. No, they were not. Yes, we were not going to get involved in that. eBay, what is this all about? This is about buying stuff for my office. I totally can't get that. A fade haircut. Let's spend money on an aloe plant, though. Hardware. Better hardware. Increases the socket processing queue by 3. Increases node work speed. That's probably actually pretty good. Have we done anything else? No? Increases data transfer speed. Well, you know what? Let's just get it all. I've clearly got the money. And cat skins. No. We can't. Well, that's too bad. These you have to sign up for like email or something to get those. Okay, we're done there. Let's go back to the tree. And let's do text recognition. We're aware you were able to create a text recognition software system based on the Rosenblatt Perceptron. We need a similar system. More accuracy is required. Okay. So how am I going to do that? Now this is not going to work because we now need to do... Well, see, now I can't differentiate that. So, I mean, do I just choose? We need more data in here anyway. Let's just try it. Actually, let's train it. Just to kind of see what it does. We've actually got a much higher accuracy over here. Oh, looks like it'll work out. Works out pretty well, actually. Don't show this next time? Yeah. I don't need to know what I already know. Okay. Parallel calculations. We'll just keep playing until this game stops. Or rather, it stops me. Let's put it that way. We represent a scientific center. Our current programs are underperforming. Possibly not. The darkest years of machine learning. In 1969, Seymour Papert and Marvin Lee Minsky wrote a book called Perceptrons. In this book, they talked about math constraints in the first perceptrons. This book has shifted the scientific interest and funds distribution from the government organizations, slowing down the progression of machine learning for almost 30 years. The expanded version of the book was released in '87, containing the chapters that disproved the statements from the critical remarks made since 1969. All your schemes use servers to process data. Some of the nodes require additional servers. The more servers you use, the more expensive your schemes cost. This block routes elements to the least overloaded socket. This block requires additional server costs, okay? A load balancer is a device that distributes network or application traffic across a cluster of servers. Load balancing improves responsiveness and increases the availability of applications. Okay. I have no other access besides that. So I guess in this context it just only splits it? Is that what's going on here? Yeah. So it pushes things through a lot faster. Let's see how it's applied. We just bought a stock of trees for the holidays. Friends say you can calculate the peak demand period for them. Can I? So this isn't going to work at all. Actually, wait. We can have it do any to that, and we can just have it do green to this. Or is this still going to have... No, this should work, right? So clearly I used this incorrectly in one of the previous missions. I was supposed to use it like this rather than in a negative fashion where I was keeping one thing going by, you know what I mean. Let's release this. Okay, that actually still made it. Yeah, okay. Ancient artifact. See, this is still in development here, clearly. So, I mean, I could go back. I still don't really see the reasoning behind that. Large parallel calculations. System broke after the last Doors OS upgrade. Can you fix it? Probably not. So, basically we need to do 3 of these? There's nothing else here. Let's go ahead and release it. Okay. Interesting. Check. Uh-oh. We should probably get out of here, huh? This indicates a startup's weekly profit. Every week you must pay servers. Oh boy. I have not been paying attention to that. Clearly we are overloaded. So this is where you patch it to make it work a little bit better. So now I ought to be able to do what with it? Well, whatever. Let's just get out of it. How about, can we do that? How do I go back to that? Startups. How do I sell my stuff? Okay, we're done with that. A little bit of cash inflow that we're done with now. Dictatorship. Greetings, this is the only state internet provider of a small country. We have a rather suboptimal code to track our people's activities. Unfortunately, we cannot allow you to change the actual code, but we have several new servers purchased on a garage sale. Okay, you can copy and paste the nodes. Oh, okay. Cat Hub. There are 4 Cat Hub repositories. They allow you to store previously made schemes for one task and switch between them right in the middle of the game. You can choose a version of the scheme, which will be used as a custom node. Okay. So... I mean, we're doing this to speed this up. How? If I can't specify what I'm pushing this through on. I mean, we only need 30. I don't see that this is going to go faster at all. Do we... Okay, stop. I mean, we could just start shoving some in here. Yeah, I really don't see how this is going to make this faster at all. I don't want this one, actually. Because all that's going to do is cram it together here. Oh, yeah. So... maybe do that? I can't see this working either, because then it's going to cram down here. I guess I don't understand what it's telling me to use here. And I don't understand how this is clearly not applicable outside of this. This is bringing it in to process it, but then what am I supposed to do with it? Just make a bunch of these? Custom node limit. Well, whatever. Okay, anyway, that is while true, learn. Clearly, I don't understand. It feels like you kind of need to know a little bit of programming along the way. Now, to be fair, when they show these things, there are at times you know, the little videos down there, links to videos, so you can actually learn while you go. But as far as just jumping into the game, this is definitely a game where you have to kind of want to get into that. We can just keep doing all this, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's an interesting game, but really, for me, it's not really my cup of tea. This is not really a field or an area where I feel inclined to solve this kind of puzzle. I guess I'm really more into like, I mean, you could argue that this is a logic puzzle game, but logic in the sense that you need to know what everything is doing and what it's useful for, and how optimal. Why do I still have stuff in here? Oh, because of the cat skins. Viking, fine. Use up all our monies. And he's a Viking cat now. Oh, interesting. Okay, well. Anyway, interesting game, but not my cup of tea. So, I'll end this one here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Let's Play.